The first act that we have tonight has been brought in at great expense to the management. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, it is absolutely going to blow your mind, the first act that we have tonight. And just to get ourselves ready, okay, as I get ready to announce the act, the first couple of rows, if you could just start clapping really quietly. Just clap, just a bit of clap. Yeah, like fairy claps, that's good, you do really well with the fairies. Good. Yes, keep going, don't overdo it. Now the next couple of rows, if you just give it a bit more clapping, That's the way, next couple of rows, next couple of rows.
Hello, how are we? You're very welcome to this evening's performance of, it's another edition of Woman's Page, of course, and it's a programme presented by myself, Frankie Byrne, and it's a programme presented to you by the people who make fig rolls big yarn. Every fig spelling as well, of course. Now, the problems I'm discussing today may not be yours, but they could be someday, if you're very lucky. My first letter today comes from a listener who signs herself Delirious Armadale. But her real name is Maureen Murphy, 23, Seafield Terrace, Armadale, Westminster. Maureen. She writes, Dear Frankie, I'm a young girl of 27.5 stone. And I'm going out now, Frankie, with a young man who's just 6.5 stone. Now, he loves me, Frankie. He adores the ground I walk upon. And he knows he'll always be sure of a roof over his head if he marries me. Because my daddy's a builder. But I don't love him, Frankie. I have a crush on him, if you know what I mean. And Frankie, I live alone with my twin sister, who's 3 years older than me, by almost 2.5 weeks. And I have a passion for the postman. It's called Postman's Passion, Frankie. Oh, he is a fine man. He is a young man. He couldn't be any more than 33, but he's between 33 and 52. And he's a tall, handsome man, 6'14.5", approximately, covered from head to toe with hair. Honestly, Frankie, you'd think his mother was after knitting him. But the thing I like mostly about him, Frankie, is the way he looks after the post office bicycle. He's got so much respect for Albert. That's what he calls the bicycle, Frankie. Albert. He holds it like that. Not like that, like that. And he runs along the side like that. And he places his left foot on the pedal like that. And he propels himself to the right foot. And he langs himself down. Many's a time I wish it was me he was delivering the letters to in the morning. But anyway, I don't get letters, Frank. So I decided to send myself a parcel. And he arrived one day while I was in the kitchen. And I was out cooking at the time, Frank. Now, I am not a very good cook. Even my dustbins have ulcers, Frank. But he arrived and knocked on the door with the bicycle. And I didn't let him in. I was playing hard to get. I've always played hard to get, Frankie. That's why I've never been caught. But he started to lose his temper outside, and eventually I could hear him shouting through the letterbox. Letterbox! 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 So I decided to let him in. And I opened the door, in my nightdress. That's a funny place to have a door, I know. But I had to let him in, into the house. It was a 2-story bungalow. Now, he stayed for a while, and we had a look at each other. He looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked back at me, and I looked back at him. We had a great look, Frankie. Then he went off, realizing he was half an hour late with his deliveries. He burst out the door, grabbed his bicycle, started to run profusely up the street like that. He placed his left foot on the pedal like that, propelled himself with the right foot like that. And he didn't realize, Frankie, that some young gurrier had stolen the saddle off. I tried to warn him. I tried to tap him. Don't throw it! Don't throw it! But over it went, and down he came like a ton of bricks. Well, he turned a whiter shade of pale. After the ambulance went, I followed on to the hospital. And he was 3 hours in the operating theatre. Oh yes, that's how long it took them to remove the bicycle. And the surgeon told me that only for the handlebars they never... That's all the letters I've got for this week, folks, and I'd like to hand you back now to the Master of Ceremonies for this evening, Master Chris Betty.